Well, folks, it looks like they may be getting ready to turn South Carolina into the next Lahaina or the next Palisades in California. Because I kid you not, I know this sounds wild, but over the past couple of days, nearly 200 fires have broken out in South Carolina and in portions of North Carolina as well. I think the exact number, don't quote me on this, I think it's 182 fires last time I checked. Just within the last few days, folks, thousands upon thousands of acres are burning. We have evacuation orders put in place in different areas in South Carolina, and this is hitting a little too close to home. I have family in these areas. I have friends in these areas that are currently burning. And these areas are not usually prone to fires. Some of these areas are very humid, not dry, and they take care of their forestry and their brush way better than in California. I personally have not seen anything like this in my lifetime. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I haven't seen anything like this. And this is, like I said, very close to home. I travel to these areas in South Carolina pretty often, and now they're ablaze as we speak. And I mean, it's not looking good. I'm hoping that this isn't going to play out like what we saw down in Maui and what we saw in California. Is this the latest 15-minute city? Isn't it odd that these places that are burning to the ground, one of these places in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, it's odd that these places that are burning to the ground, it's always these ideal locations, like right with views of the ocean. Beautiful place in Hawaii, the most beautiful, nicest areas in LA, and in one of the most beautiful places in South Carolina. It's weird, like this beachfront property continues burning to the ground. I'm sorry, I feel like there's something weird going here. And around 200 fires in the matter of a couple of days? What in the heck is going on? And the news isn't talking about it much. I get it's the weekend, but they're damn sure not talking about this in the way they talked about LA burning. And look, folks, I hate that my mind always immediately always goes into like conspiracy theory mode. But this is the way that I have been set up to think. This is the way that the world and life has programmed me to think, because I have covered and researched a lot of these natural disasters and these crazy events that have been happening over recent years. I literally dedicate most of my time, like how you dedicate your time to your job and your work for hours a day. I dedicate hours and hours a day looking into these things, and I often find that more often than not, these major natural disasters aren't natural at all. So I'm not saying that these fires weren't started naturally, but I am saying that this is kind of weird. And I'm not used to having like West Coast style wildfires in like freaking South Carolina on the beach and stuff. All right? I'm not used to seeing stuff like that. Maybe you are on the West Coast. We don't see stuff like that down here. And, immediately I started thinking about these smart cities, these 15-minute cities. Because literally every time somewhere burns to the ground or gets destroyed, 9 times out of 10, there's a plan. There's already a pre-approved plan to turn that area into this or that, or a smart city, or a new hotel, or something weird like that. And all you got to do is Google Myrtle Beach Smart City, and immediately you will be in shock, because it turns out that they recently, made this new Smart City initiative. Myrtle Beach formally launches Smart City Initiative. The South Carolina city is running a Living Lab public-private partnership program to support the development of emerging tech and use of the city as a hub. So just in recent months, they've been announcing this stuff, and now it's burning to the ground. Everything's burning to the ground right when they launch a new initiative to have this smart city in Myrtle Beach. Literally right here on Google. You don't have to look far, folks. You know, people often think that these secrets, they're hidden deep within. You gotta, oh my God, you gotta look and dig so deep. No. Most of this stuff is on the surface. It will literally take people 5 minutes to research this stuff, to look this stuff up, but people don't. People are distracted. People don't care. That's the world we're living in. But a simple Google search will show you this. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is launching a smart city initiative to use technology to improve the city and its residents. The initiatives include a living lab program that encourages entrepreneurs and tech companies to move to the area. How will the Smart City Initiative help Myrtle Beach? Economic development. The initiative aims to create jobs and economic growth in the tech sector. Quality of life. The initiative aims to improve sustainability and quality of life for residents. Connectivity. The initiative aims to improve communication between the city and its residents. How does the Living Lab program work? The Living Lab program is a public-private partnership between the city and tech companies. The program allows companies to test and prototype their technologies in Myrtle Beach. The program has led to increased employment in the city. Now, I know a lot of people who live along the southeast coast. I know a lot of people who live in Myrtle Beach and along these beaches in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. And a lot of them have the mentality of, you know, we don't want necessarily the hustle and bustle that you see at some of these other beaches, right? A lot of them want to live like a quieter beach lifestyle. They don't necessarily want the spring breakers and all of that stuff. So I know for a fact that a lot of people in Myrtle Beach, some of them maybe, you know, are okay with this, but a lot of people, they don't want all of these tech companies and stuff coming down there. It's going to totally change their way of life. It's going to change the beach. It's going to change everything. Most of these people don't want that. Sure, you could say, oh, well, it will provide jobs. It will help the economy. Most of these people don't care about that. Most of these people, a lot of them are retirees. They're trying to live a quiet life. They're living on Myrtle Beach and places like these areas because they want a quieter life, right? They don't want it to be like Miami Beach or anything like that. But these tech companies do. And these tech companies are interested in land that they can't necessarily have because people's homes are there. These tech companies want to build their companies and build their businesses on land where people are living, or maybe there's that old ice cream shop that's been here since 1940. We don't want to tear that down. And now all of a sudden, hey, okay, well, here's all of these over 200, like 180 something wildfires out of nowhere. Just as they launched this program. So maybe the two have nothing to do with each other. But as someone who covers these disasters, this is not the first time that I've seen something like this. In fact, almost every time you see a major disaster in the news, there's something odd like this associated with the story. And most people never realize that. But if you've been watching my channel over the years, you've seen me dig into these stories. You know better. So hey, I'm going to keep my eye on the situation right now. Pray for the people in South Carolina. There's tons of people being evacuated as we speak. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.